Yesterday was my 140th day as the 16th CEO of the Hartford, and it's truly an honor to lead this iconic American company, as Oz described. As most of you know, we trace our roots back here to Hartford, Connecticut, over 204 years ago, and have been located on our location in Asylum Hill since 1921. While I grew up in the Midwest, I've spent time living and working in a number of cities across the country, and particularly New York, before coming to the Hartford 4 years ago. I've come to love and appreciate the rich history of our company and the rich history of the city of Hartford, though I'm never quite sure I'm going to get accustomed to the divide in sports teams. Yankees versus Red Sox, Giants versus Pats, and then of course there's the lonely Jets. While we might not be aligned around sports teams, our company and community are aligned around improving the city and fostering success for future generations. That's why we are here today, and that's why the Hartford is so involved with the community and the organizations working to improve the business climate here in Hartford. Several years ago, as Oz mentioned, our former CEO, Liam McGee, started an initiative dedicated to improving Asylum Hill with a $7 million 5-year investment. Our focus was on neighborhood revitalization, education, and community support services. We are 4 years into that effort, and we are pleased with the progress we're seeing. And I thought I'd just highlight a couple items and to indicate that progress. In November of 2010, the city of Hartford announced the purchase of the Capitol West building, which was an eyesore and a barrier between Asylum Hill and downtown for more than 10 years. The Hartford contributed $2 million to help the city purchase the building, demolish it, and improve the property. At the same time, the Hartford believes that it's important to support the community by helping to improve access to the fundamentals of life, such as food, shelter, and health care. We have long partnered with Food Share, supporting its annual walk for more than 20 years. In the past 5 years alone, the Hartford and our teammates have contributed more than $1 million to help bridge the food gap that currently exists for too many of our neighbors. Finally, since 2004, the Hartford has nearly reached 9,000 students and contributed more than $1 million to junior achievement here in Hartford. And last year, Junior Achievement moved its headquarters to our Asylum Hill campus. We are also partnering with Junior Achievement on a national basis to inspire a new generation of small business leaders. The Hartford is funding a new online learning component of the organization's flagship JA Company program, which offers groups of students the opportunity to launch their own small business while learning the basics of entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and business success. Our work with Junior Achievement is closely tied with our subject today, small business, which is a topic that is very personal to me. I say it's personal because I grew up in a small business family. My dad owned a TV sales and service business outside of Chicago, and my mother was the accountant. Some say my mother was really the CEO, but we let my dad believe he ran the business. From a very young age, I saw firsthand the demands of being a small business owner, how hard they work, the challenges they confront, and the difficult tasks they navigate. Yet, I also saw how fulfilling and empowering small business ownership could be. Small business owners are passionate about their work and the role they play in their communities. Small businesses are critical to our nation's economy. America's 28 million small business owners drive job creation and innovation in our economy, creating nearly 2 out of 3 new private sector jobs and making up nearly half the nation's private sector employment. In Connecticut, small businesses make up 97% of all employers, and they employ approximately half the private sector workforce. I'm proud to say that the Hartford serves the protection needs of more than 1 million small business owners nationally, including 30,000 in Connecticut and 10,000 in the greater Hartford area. In 1810, we issued our first policy, an insurance contractor policy, right here in Hartford. So our roots in this business community are deep and, as I said, rich. Our commitment to small business owners is why, for the 4th consecutive year, we've conducted one of the nation's most comprehensive studies on small business owners. We survey over 2,000 small businesses across the nation, including approximately 400 here in Hartford and the greater Connecticut area. We also ask questions about risk-taking, confidence in the economy, hiring plans, and the like. So I thought I'd share a few of our highlights. First, small business owners are feeling successful, 77% to be exact. And that number has increased during the past 2 years. Success for most small business owners in our study means around 80%, means that they're making enough money to have a comfortable lifestyle or doing something they feel passionate about. Notice, it's not about getting rich. That's not entirely surprising. Running a small business is not the easiest way to make a living, and many don't even survive their first year. However, approximately half small business owners we surveyed nationally would still choose to run their own business even if they could be just as successful working for another organization. I love that vote of self-confidence and determination. Now, not all our findings were so encouraging. While small business owners nationally are feeling successful, they aren't operating in growth mode. In fact, they remain quite risk-adverse. Fewer than 20% of owners have taken on more risk with their small businesses, and 3/4 regard themselves as conservative in terms of their risk appetite. Clearly, the recession has had a lasting effect on small business owners. More than half, 55%, say the recession has caused them to operate their business finances more conservatively, and the majority has not hired anyone in the last year. Here in Connecticut, owners are positive. 80% of owners in this state say they feel successful, which is on par with the national average. In addition, more Connecticut owners are hiring. 59% of owners in the state tell us they've hired in the past 12 months, substantially greater than the 30% nationally. The finding in Connecticut is consistent with what we see in the greater Hartford area also. This is the 2nd consecutive year that the greater Hartford small businesses have hired more than their national peers. 35% of Connecticut owners said they made all the hires they wanted to. That's 11 points higher than their national peers and consistent with the Hartford results. But more interesting, 24% of Connecticut owners say they have not hired as much as they would have liked, citing lack of affordability and business growth amongst the most common reasons. As you might expect from these results, Connecticut small businesses describe themselves as taking on more risk than the national average, although numbers are still lower than we'd like to see. As I see the data, it leads me to a few takeaways. First, it's clear the Great Recession has tempered the entrepreneurial spirit that has made our nation so successful. Second, economic uncertainty, though improved, is causing owners to be more conservative than what is required to support true economic growth. And third, we need to do more to support the nation's entrepreneurial spirit for the current and the next generation of business owners, especially the millennials. Our city's future is closely tied to the millennial generation. Millennials will make up as much as 75% of the U.S. workforce by 2025. However, research shows that millennials are not starting new businesses at the same rate as previous generations, which is concerning to many. This generation has faced a lot of challenges over the past decade. The Great Recession, a national savings rate that is trending lower, and higher college debt. This leaves millennials with a higher risk aversion and too few resources to start and grow a small business. It's clear that we're losing an important component of economic growth, and I look forward to hearing from the perspectives of today's panelists on this important topic. It's not surprising that small business owners are feeling risk adverse. The recession has affected many businesses, including the Hartford. With a very focused effort on resetting strategy and strengthening our own balance sheet, I could confidently say we've restored the company's financial position and are investing for long-term growth. Along the way, we learned many lessons that may be helpful to small and big businesses alike. For example, we learned to be prepared to act quickly when opportunities present themselves. We learned that it's critical to be realistic about your options and the operating environment you face. And finally, we learned the importance of openly engaging with our most important stakeholders. The past few years were a challenge for many organizations, but we are seeing positive indicators for the nation's economy, and we want entrepreneurs and small businesses to have every opportunity for success. Over time, economic improvement and more certainty should help, but we can't rely on time alone. It's clear that there is work to be done in several key areas to help small business owners form and grow. First is creating greater access to capital to start or grow a business. Small business owners do tell us that access to capital is getting easier. That's the good news. But many small business owners still struggle to find capital. The state of Connecticut has a number of programs to help small businesses, including the Small Business Express program and CT Next Innovation Ecosystems. At the Hartford, we are partnering with nonprofit organization Axion, the nation's largest microlender, to benefit 500 small businesses across the nation, including those here in Hartford. I'm pleased to have our Axion partners with us here today. Second is in the area of education and support networks. I mentioned our work with Junior Achievement earlier, and our Axion partner also focuses on educating small businesses, but I think we can all admit there's more to do in that area too. And third relates to certainty around government policies and legislation. Overall economic activity and labor market conditions are becoming more supportive of small businesses' growth and development, but our legislators need to understand the impact that uncertainty in government policies has on small businesses. There are tremendous opportunities for small businesses to start and grow and prosper, particularly here in Connecticut.